Good day everyone, welcome back to another Sunlight production. On today's episode, I'll be fishing at Norton Place Lake here in Brampton, Ontario. It's not too far away from Toronto. It's a lesser known lake, used to be a quarry but is now filled in, and is a nice little fishing spot to come to. It's not very easy to get to. It's surrounded by condo buildings, and you will have to pay for parking if you can find a parking spot anywhere nearby. Some of the native species of fish here in this quarry lake are large and smallmouth bass, pumpkin seed, and bluegill. The water is very clear. I'm not sure of the how deep the deeper areas in the lake are, but from what I can tell, it can't be more than 10 to 15 feet, maybe 20. I don't know. I haven't read any depth readings, but yeah, somewhere around there. There's a little bit of a hike to get to depending on where you park. I parked where I thought was nearby. It is a paid parking spot because I don't want to come back to a ticket or a missing car. So where I park left me with a little bit of a hike to the water's edge. But that's part of the fun of going fishing. I like hiking into these little lakes. It makes them seem remote, even though obviously someone has been here before. That's why there's a beaten trail. Anyhow, without any further ado, let's get to it. For today's purposes, I have my carbon fiber telescopic fishing rod that's paired up with my Abu Garcia Specialist Pro. That's weighted for about 12 pounds, and that's spooled up with some 12-pound test mono, and attached to that is a drop shot and a hook. And for today's bait, we'll be using earthworms. It is a lovely day here in Toronto, very sunny but very hot. It's 31 degrees but feels like 37, and I am sweating bullets. However, that is not going to stop me from doing some fishing today. This is the only man-made structure that goes out onto the lake. Off the drop shot, I thought it was a bit too much, and I've used some split shot instead, just above the swivel and the hook, and that's what I'm going to be using for the remainder of the day. And really hot, I'm sweating bullets here, and I've got no action. I'm quite sure that that has to do with the heat of the day and the fact that the sun is high. The fish are most definitely in the deeper pools of water. So I'm going to move from the pier, and I'm going to make my way around the lake here to different spots in search of deeper pools that I can cast my bait into and hopefully get a bite. Fingers crossed. It is a very hot day, not the most ideal day for fishing. Ideally you want to come early in the mornings, later in the evenings, or on an overcast day is great. Fish do not have eyelids, so they tend to retreat from the brightness of the sun, or at least that's what I think. And of course, on hot days like today, the water temperature changes and they will go into deeper water to stay in those cooler zones that's more comfortable for them. So let's make our way around the lake here, see a few sights, hear a few sounds, and hopefully catch a few fish. All right, this looks like a good spot here. Water clarity is fairly good. There's a nice deep pool off to the right here. I'm just going to put some more worm on the hook. There we go. Well, it wasn't the greatest cast, but it'll do. we've got a fish on. Seems like a fairly small fish. Yeah, it is a very small fish. Not sure what kind of fish this is, but it tried to get a mouthful of my worm. But it got caught. Cute little fish. I think this is a rock bass. Not a smallmouth at all. Yeah, I think this is a rock bass for sure. Anyhow, let's get this guy back in the water. It's pretty hot out here. Yep, there he goes. A whole school of them right here. See if I can't catch another one. And there goes my worm. All of it. Well, not all of it. Still a little chunk left. But these guys seem to like big chunks of worm on the hook. That's when they bite the most. All right, well, moving on here. After catching a small rock bass, I'm feeling fairly hopeful. Didn't expect to catch anything today due to how hot it is. So we're gonna make our way further up the road here onto another spot of the lake, and hopefully we can catch something a little bit bigger. Anyhow, I'll see you there. All right, this looks like a really good spot here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on screen here, but that dark section over there is a deeper pool of water, and it's not too far from the shore, so I'm sure I can reach it with a cast. We have a nice section of shoreline here, perfect for me to swing my rod for casting, and it actually goes off to the left here, so I can sort of get around the bank, not too far, but I figure I could get at least 30 feet that way, closer to the deep pool of water. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm going to make my way to right now. All right, so we're here. Wow, look at that. That water looks really good. I bet you there's some big fish in that deep pool of water right there, and it's, look at that, tip of my rod. And we got another one, ladies and gentlemen. Another baby fish. Yay! Just kidding. Small they might be, but fun they are to catch. I believe this one is a bluegill. Yeah, beautiful, colorful bluegill. Look at that fish. Look at those colors. Wow, that is a gorgeous looking fish. Anyhow, let's get it off the hook and get it back in the water. Okay, there we go. You know, one thing I gotta do, I keep forgetting to do with my hooks, is press the barbs down, because while the barbs do help keep the fish on the hook, it gives you a real hell of a time getting them off. There it goes. All right, well, we've got another one on, another bluegill. Wow, good weight this one. Beautiful fish. Okay, let's see. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that in the sunlight. Look at those colors. Yep. Lovely little fish. Probably about a 1 pounder, or half a pound, I should say. Anyhow, let's get this guy back in the water. Thank you for biting. Really appreciate the action. Wow, look at that. Small, but I'm grateful for this. Anyhow. Here you go. Wow, he went from 0 to 60 real quick. Let's see if we can catch another one. And we got another one. Another lovely bluegill. Seems like the population here in this little lake is thriving. Feisty little fella. Look at those colors. Beautiful fish. Get him unhooked and get it back in the water. Okay, I'm packing it in, and heading home. It is a really hot day. I should have brought something with me to drink, but I thought it would be enough if I drank something before I got to the lake. Now I'm feeling like bringing a bottle of cold water would have been a good idea, but it is what it is. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this fishing trip. We caught a few fish today. Nothing to write home about, but it was fun either way. It was fun getting here, it was fun catching those fish, and it was fun sharing this experience with you. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you found this video interesting or fun. And until next time, I'll see you at the water's edge.